Hey, beautiful beings. How are we all doing this week? Hopefully, we are feeling in a better space maybe than last week. I was talking with a friend yesterday who said she'd had a rough week, to which I replied, it has been effing shit. So I don't know about you guys, but I have literally cried nearly every day for a week this week. I think Sunday morning was probably the first morning in over a week where I woke up and I felt lighter and I felt more balanced, etc. So I just wanted to sort of share with you that if you've been feeling really rough, or if you felt as if you're really emotional, then do be aware that there was a lot of stuff going on with the full moon in Taurus on Saturday, and a lot of stuff coming up to be worked through and to be healed as well. So this week I am doing my reading for the collective minus the cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my guides to come through and share some words with you for this week. So there are already a couple of things that I feel I need to share. So the first one, which has come to my mind several times, is around the power of prayer. Now, yesterday I took myself out for a walk towards some woods, and as I was walking through the graveyard, I noticed that the church was open. Now, it's not very often I go to church. When I say not very often, it's like at Christmas, on Christmas Eve, to sing, and that's it, because I like singing with people. So it wasn't that, I just felt this pull to go into the church. So I went in and I sat in the pew and I did something which I haven't done for a long time, and I prayed. And I literally prayed for various people's souls. I prayed to ancestors. I prayed for a lot of people, and I prayed for the world and for the earth and for humanity. And I've channeled a prayer which I'll read out to you at the end, which I feel is for sort of like the greater good, if you like. It's for the collective. So, and then today I've heard mention the words pray and prayer several times. So I feel as if this is something, if this evening, if you're watching this today, which is the 2nd of November, in the evenings, just say a little prayer, because when you say a prayer, it's not about, being religious. It's asking upstairs, asking the universe, asking all our helpers, all our guides to be with us in this moment. And when we are doing this as a collective, it's a much stronger energy than if it's one person or two people. So the more people that can just say a little prayer, I feel the better. And whilst I was sat in the church yesterday as well, I was feeling around my solar plexus a lot of angst and a lot of fear. So in the UK is the day after Boris had mentioned we're going into national lockdown again on Thursday, which I feel is bringing up again a lot of fear, a lot of anger in the collective, a lot of angst and worry, and this not knowing what is coming afterwards. In the US, there's obviously the election on the 3rd of November, so there's a lot of tension in the air right now. So if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling angst, if you're feeling worry, but it's not yours, it may be that you're picking up on it in the collective. So there is a meditation which I did a while ago around transmuting that fear. So I'll put the link to that below, which you can listen to. And when we're feeling in that space of fear from others, then we need to shift it and it needs to be transmuted. So, okay, just asking what else. Okay, so this week, even if there's some fear, even if there's some worry, focus on the things that you can do which aren't associated with that. So it may be playing music, playing an instrument, it may be dancing, it may be singing, it may be writing. Whatever your creative outlet is, I feel needs to be focused on, because when we focus on that fear and that worry and that anger, we're focusing on lower vibrations and we're focusing on the negative vibrations. But when we're focusing on something that brings us joy and happiness, it lifts our vibration, which in turn lifts those around us. So I very much feel this week, okay, there's the power of prayer. So saying a prayer before you go to bed or through the day, etc., and choosing to do things which bring you joy and happiness. Okay, so I met with some friends last night, and we were talking about putting together 2 different documents. One, a list of things that you can still do through lockdown, and then the second one is what is, rather than focus on the negative of lockdown, what positives have come out of lockdown for you. So I have met so many new amazing people, so many new friends. I'm ending this year with some really fabulous new friends that I have met through lockdown because of beliefs and aligning with different souls. So think about, what good comes from lockdown. What can you do in lockdown that you maybe haven't given yourself time to do beforehand? So I feel like that's something to focus on as well this week. Okay, I'm just asking if there's anything else. They're like, no, okay. So I'm going to share with you the prayer that I channeled yesterday, which is, I've called it a prayer for humanity. So this is something that you can either close your eyes and listen to if you would like to, or it's something that you can repeat to yourself later on. Okay, so a prayer for humanity. At this time I pray for all souls to awaken. I pray for our ancestors to come forth and release us from their pain, for our pain is no longer their pain. I pray for our ancestors to encircle us and be with us during this time. I pray that I may act always from a space of love and compassion and empathy. I pray that the tides will turn and no longer will we see poverty, hunger, homelessness, abuse, addictions, hurt. I pray that we learn to live in love, to be love. I pray that every person on this planet finds peace in their heart and their mind. I pray for our children that they do not grow up into the system we became indoctrinated into, that our children will not have to work on their healing as much as we have. I pray that together we may unite against the tyranny of the world, that brothers and sisters will stand arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand. I pray that we find the strength within us to stand up for ourselves, to stand up for what we know deep down to be right and true. I pray that we continue to find ways to connect across the miles, sharing stories and experiences. I pray that we all find our place of peace, and in so doing, share it with others. So I wish you a very peaceful week, and I hope that you can find pockets of joy, pockets of gratitude in everything you do. Namaste.